There are so many opportunities out there for music teachers nowadays. We truly live in an amazing time. We have all these different organizations that have been around for years, and they're having the most amazing conferences that you can go to. And we have new organizations popping up online and also in the world, in real life space. And they are niching down to some like super cool, topics in the music business world. There are so many music conference opportunities that if you tapped into all of them, you would be, let's face it, tapped out. But there are also some really amazing business opportunities that are not music related. And because we are so focused on our field, that we're so focused on learning the latest techniques, the latest pedagogies, the latest method books, and all of the good stuff, right? Oh, gotta learn about that straw technique. We are so focused on that at times we forget that there are other business opportunities for us out there. And so that's what I wanted to tap into today, because last week I was at this incredible social media marketing and strategy conference in California, and it literally blew my mind. And so I thought, you know what? We need to talk about this. Let's talk about how we can stretch and grow as business owners outside of the music industry. So welcome to our Wednesday broadcast, everybody. I see so many people tuning in this morning. Hello, Patricia. Nice to see you. And Cheryl Lee, good to see you. I see greetings from Central New York. Elizabeth, hey. Nice to see you. Pat is tuning in from Lake Forest, California. How's that going out there? Are you okay, Pat? Are you guys near the fires at all? Hey, Kevin is tuning in from Augusta, Georgia. Hey, Kevin, nice to see you. Okay, so hey guys, welcome. So glad to have you here today to chat about business topics and how we can branch out as music education professionals into the business realm, and how you can do that not only in person in your local area, but how you can find online associations that you can join that can help you like really, get beastie bossy, if I'm borrowing Michelle's term here from the Speakeasy Cooperative. Get beastie bossy in your business so that you can really embrace yourself as a business owner and network in a way that is super powerful for your music studio and your online music business. If you have never been here before, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Sarah Campbell. I am a music business coach, and I work with music studio owners and online music business owners so that you can get super strategic about how you run your business in a way that feels authentic to you. So welcome to today. We go live every Wednesday here at 12 p.m. Eastern here on the business page. And I bring different business and mindset and what I like to call awesometicity tips your way every week. So I'm so glad to be back with you guys today. Our topic of the day is networking outside of music and how we can tap into all the different opportunities that are out there for us and really make them work for our music studios and for our online music businesses. Hey, and if you're joining me here today, I want you to definitely say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from and let me know what you do. Are you a solopreneur? Are you a solo teacher studio? Do you own a multi-teacher studio? Do you have a music online business that you just recently started? Let us know what you do here in the comments, and I'll be sure to shout you out. So today we're talking about networking outside of music, and I want you to know that I did put together some show notes for you. So if you want to get a hold of that. Hey there, Jason. Hey, real life friends tuning into the broadcast. Jason's here, and there is June. Hello. Mwah. Nice to see you this morning. Hey, and I see Laura is there too. She's waving. Good to see you. All right, so if you drop a network below, all right, my messenger bot, the Coach Sarah bot, will message you here on Messenger, and she will ask you to say that word one more time in Messenger, and then she'll send you the show notes from today. And that's just a really simple way, like if you're kind of running low on time and you want to make sure that you get that, and it's an easy way to remember what we discussed in the broadcast, so you can do that. And so let's get to the tips, right? Here's what we're working on. We're working on learning how to network outside of music, and I've got 5 tips for you guys here today. Some of these are talking about specific groups that you should look for. Some of them are more general groups, just to get those gears turning so that you can think about, well, what opportunities do I have in my area, right? What opportunities do I have online? Where are these places that I can network with other business professionals? And why the heck should I do this? Because I'm already, doing all these conference things and music things. So let's get into that, shall we? I'm going to start by asking a question. And I would love to know what you're doing. So, where do you network outside of the music field? This little question right here. Where do you network right now? Do you have a business association that you attend? Do you have some kind of a group that meets once a month? Have you made your own group? How do you network outside of the music field? And even deeper than that, what benefits have you found when you started networking outside of your field? Now, if you're not in the music field, right, and you're watching the broadcast, a couple of you have tuned in. If you're not in that field, how have you branched out in networking outside of the field that you're in? What groups have you found valuable in building your business, and flexing those business muscles and building a network that allows you to branch out of your field? So I want you to answer that question as we go through the broadcast here. If you are already networking outside of your field, I want you to let us know where you're doing that and what benefits have you gotten from doing that. So I see a bunch of people dropping networks. Oh, Bethany saying, hey, from Alabama, I own a solo teacher studio, harp and piano lessons, and play for events. Very cool. So really, you have 2 businesses, right? You've got your studio and you've got your gigging business, which is awesome. And I see, okay, Pat says, I've been teaching music all my life. I've had a studio with 8 teachers for 10 years in Southern California. Pat, that's amazing. And I currently teach 2 to 5-year-olds and their parents. Aw, fabulous. Patricia is saying, hey, I'm doing some network and it's unalignable. Excellent. And Kevin says, musical journeys, mobile music lessons. Ooh, very cool. So we've got a traveling teacher. And I also play piano and percussion for private events. Again, right? You've got that side gig. Maybe it's not a side gig. Maybe they're hand in hand, right? Maybe they're 50-50. And Cheryl Lee says, I haven't really thought about networking in other groups other than teaching. I'm very active in our church. Okay, fabulous. So let's get into the why, right? Why should we network outside of our music field? Oh, we are a rare breed. Musicians are a rare breed. I think that, if you're tuning in and you're watching this, I think you can probably agree. We're a special group of people, right? Our business comes with some really interesting aspects that you don't really find in many other fields. Maybe in other arts, you might find what we do. But as music professionals, we are doing stuff that is very unique. And that's one of the reasons why we spend a lot of time networking inside of the music realm, because what we do is so specialized, and it's really nice to be able to connect with music teachers. And I am definitely not saying that you should stop doing it. In fact, you should probably do more of that. But what I am saying is that if we want to build our local network, or if we want to build, really flex our business muscles, it can be extremely helpful to branch out. So let's talk about the different ways that you can do that, right? So one of the first ways that I like to think, that I like to encourage myself to branch out is that I think about this sentence. You are a business owner. Let that sink in for a second. You are a business owner. You are not just a music teacher. You are not just a piano teacher. You are not just a voice teacher. You're not just a harp teacher. You are a business owner. And when we can really let that idea sink in, it gives us the incentive to start treating our studio as a business. And just because we're very specialized and niched down, and yes, we face specific problems in our businesses that I think are kind of unique, just because we are niched down does not mean that we can't learn from other business professionals. And so when we're branching out into the business field, there are some specific reasons why you might want to do this. One of the first reasons is if you're looking at local business associations, right? So let's think about some examples might be small business associations in your area. Now, this is different depending on where you live, right? And so one of the first things that you can do is like literally Google that. Small business association and then the name of your town, or ask around your friends and see what are the business opportunities in my area. What are the different groups that meet? You can, this is old school, you can look in your local paper and see what events are listed under meetings. A lot of these groups still list those things in local newspapers. So we're thinking about small business associations, right? Hey, and for the girls here today, we're thinking about women's networks too, because those have gotten really big. And then we're also tapping into some other, business things like the Chamber of Commerce in your town. Why are these things important? Here's why. If you are struggling with getting your studio out there, if you are like feeling like, hey, I'm making these Facebook posts, I'm doing all these things, I have my website set up, like I have all these things in place, but people just aren't finding me. Let me tell you a little story. Okay, so this is a story about my friend, Kristen Coffey Rondo. She's amazing. And she is a coach with me in the Speakeasy Cooperative. And a couple of weeks ago, she did a post about going to a local business association. And when she went to that local business association, she sat through the luncheon and there was a presenter, and that's all fine. Great. Yeah, probably got some tips from that presenter, probably got to chat with some people at the table. But you know what happened at the end of this was that they had everybody get up and do a snap statement. Everybody introduced themselves and they talked about what they did in their business. So if you were in that situation, what would your snap statement be? What would you say if you had 30 seconds, 10 seconds to talk about your business? Hi, I'm Sarah Campbell. I'm a music studio owner. My studio in West Middlesex, I specialize in working with kids and adults who love to perform and who want to hone their craft. Right? What would that snap statement be? If you have a snap statement, or if you want to practice your snap statement, I want you to put that into the comments right here. I want you to pretend that we are at a business association meeting and you've been handed a microphone and they're asking you to tell people what you do. Because here's the magic in that, right? When Kristen got up and she grabbed that microphone and she introduced her Sand Dollar music studio, guess what happened after? She had a bunch of people who lined up to talk to her about her business. Because even if they are not interested in taking music lessons, they know somebody else who is interested in taking music lessons. So, not only are you going to get awesome music tips awesome business tips from attending these associations and learn lots of things. You may find that there's a digital marketer in town that you could work with, or you may find that there's somebody out there who, specializes in making t-shirts or something. You could support another local business and lift each other up. You may find those kind of relationships there, but you may also find that it's an opportunity to just let people know that you are there. How many of you have done something like that before? If you've done something like that, I want you to hit that little thumbs up button in the heart button. Let me know, hey, I have been out there and I've gone to a luncheon. I've gone to an evening event. I have networked in my area in a way that brought people in. Let me know that here in the comments or give me some reactions there. So those are the first things, right? Look for those small business associations. Check into your local chamber of commerce. See when they're meeting. Now, side note, I know that some of these associations meet at times when it's really hard for you to attend, right? Because they're all meeting at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. on a weeknight. And guess what you're doing? You're teaching lessons. However, there are opportunities out there that happen later in the evening, and sometimes they might have events on the weekend. So even if you can't attend in person, I encourage you to reach out to those groups and ask, how can I join your membership? What are the opportunities that are available to me, like on the weekends? Do you guys do any events that I can attend? It's hard for me to attend during the day, but I would love to attend the other events that you sponsor. Now, there are also some clubs, and we're going to talk old school here, all right? Because I kind of like old school. And we're going to talk about things like Rotary, Kiwanis, and Optimist International. Okay, so these groups, they are associations of business people. These guys have been around forever, right? Has anybody ever gone to a Rotary, a Kiwanis, or Optimist International meeting? I want you to let me know below in the comments. So side note, little story about me. You may not know this, but I was a waitress for a long time. Okay, I was not just a waitress. I'm not just a waitress. Sorry, I have to sing that line from working whenever that comes in my head. I was a banquet server. And so at the country club that I worked at, the Rotary group got together, I think it was every Wednesday at noon, and they had a luncheon. So, okay, music teachers who can't get together with other business groups that meet in the evening, guess what? There are opportunities in your area that meet during the daytime. And oftentimes that's when you have a little bit of time off, right? That's why some of you are joining me right here, right now, at Wednesday at noon. Look for those opportunities in your area. Look for those groups that might meet during luncheons. Now, these groups, right, they're service-based. But still, it's an opportunity to network with other business professionals where you can chat about running a business. And you can also chat about how they get their business out there, because even though, our industry is quite different, it's really important to learn from other industries and how they get their message to their audience. So one of these groups might be meeting in your area. And if you don't know, go to their websites and check it out. I just actually reached out. I know that my Rotary group started something new. These groups are starting to change. There's a shift happening right now because they are realizing that a lot of young professionals are very busy in the evening because they've got kids. They are shuttling them here and there, after school because their kids are so busy and they're in like 10 different activities every single week. You guys know how that is, right? But they are really busy and they are trying to get out there and, get all the things done. So attending these traditional meetings that happen in the evening or that happen like at that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour, or even 12 o'clock, right? It can be difficult. But I do know that some of these clubs are starting to realize that, and that's why they're starting to realize why their membership is dropping. And so they're creating new opportunities. The Rotary group in my area just started something called Rotary After Dark. And they are now meeting at it's like 7 p.m., once a month. And it's super cool. And oh my gosh, I just noticed that my computer is not plugged in and it has almost no power left. 2 seconds, people. We've got to plug in. If I don't, I have a feeling that the broadcast will drop. So super awkward part of the video right now. All right. Eee! That was fun. Okay, here we go. Plugged in. So look into those groups and see if there's something in your area that you can join, right? There might be something that does offer some after hours meetings, or maybe once every other month they change up the time of the meeting. Reach out and check it out. I am doing the same in my area. I am trying to get intentional about networking in my local community so that I know what's going on. I'm going to say right now, Anna Marie, if you're watching, I am going to try to make it to that Rotary After Dark meeting. I've been missing you guys. You were awesome. Okay, here are 2 other places that you should consider homeschool groups. All right. So again, this is different in every area, right? So your local area may be different, right? Homeschool groups, sometimes they meet in person. Sometimes they've got really good online communities. If you're trying to branch out in your area, now this is not a business group, but a lot of homeschool associations, they have these voucher systems where there is money in these systems and they are actively looking for people to hand that money to. They're actively looking for different things that they can enroll their children in, especially if you have group classes, or if you do any of the programs, the big programs out there like Music Together or Kinder Music. These homeschool associations are looking for you, and if you haven't found those associations, it's time to start looking, because you're missing out on a great opportunity there. So that's a little bit side note, not quite business group, but here's the part that I absolutely love. If you are in an area and you are struggling finding a group that makes sense, finding a group where you can talk with other small business owners who are busy and doing all the things and wearing all the hats, consider making your own group. It doesn't have to be super formal. It doesn't have to be super hard, right? It doesn't have to take up a ton of your time. But what it can do is allow you the opportunity to connect in person and to chat in person with other professionals who are dealing with the same things that you're dealing with, but just in a different field. And it allows us to create this super powerful network so that we can call on one another when we need an ear, so that we can work with one another when you're trying to figure out digital marketing, or you're like, I really need new business cards. And when we start doing that kind of networking in our local community, guess whose name will be on their lips when somebody asks about piano lessons or voice lessons or harp lessons? It's going to be yours. So, quick recap, shall we? Hey, if you guys are finding this information valuable, I want you to let me know below in the comments. Let me know which one of these 5 things you are going to explore this week. Ooh, let's even make that better. Which one of these 5 things are you going to explore today? Set your intention here in the comments as we go through the recap, all right? So the first one, right? First tip. You are a business owner and you need to embrace that. If you are just saying, when somebody asks you, what do you do? Oh, I'm a piano teacher. That's fine. But you know what? I own a piano studio. That's better. Yes, Pete, I am a business owner. Power. I love it. Set that intention. Put it out into the universe, right? Okay, so we have, you are a business owner. Next, check out for those small business associations. There are different ones in all kinds of areas, right? So look and see what opportunities are in your town, right? Or look to see online. But today we're mostly talking in person, right? Ladies, look for those women's networks. I know that there is a women's network, a business network that meets for dinner like twice a month in my area. So check to see if you have a women's network somewhere in your area and join them. Look for the service groups too, right? Well, for one thing, because it's going to get you out of the house, right? And you can go to these great events where you can support your community, and you can also network with other business professionals who are also passionate about supporting their community. And remember, when you go to these meetings, they might have you get up there and do a snap statement. And here we go. Pat Crane says, I'm Pat Crane. Hi, I'm Pat Crane. I believe all children are born musical. I am building a coalition to get music education back into our schools. And if you're interested, you can talk to me after the program. Thank you. Pat, that is amazing. Excellent. Okay. And then of course we have like, look into those homeschool groups, right? A lot of them have voucher systems that they have all this money that they need to use for opportunities outside of just homeschooling. So check that out. And if all of those fail, or if you're feeling like, you know what, I'm looking at these opportunities and they're just not speaking to me, I would be super interested in being able to just sit down with small business owners and talk about what it's like to run a business. Make your own group. There are other people out there who are looking for opportunities just like you. Yes, here we go. Laura is setting her intention out into the universe and she's saying, I will search small business associations online today. Laura, I love you. Pat says, I created a Facebook page for people interested in building the power of music in our schools. Fabulous stuff, right? Okay, so these are all the different tips. These are all the different places that we can look for support as business owners. Now, if you want to get today's show notes, so that you don't have to search around and go like, wait, what did Sarah say about the thing? What were the 5 different things? All right, I want you to drop a network here below, and the Coach Sarah bot will send you a message here on Messenger, and she'll ask you to say network one more time inside of Messenger, and then she will send you a recap of today's show notes so that you can mull them over and think about, well, what would fit where I am in my business right now? What would serve me best? What would serve my clients best? What would serve my business best? So drop that network below and the Coach Sarah bot will send you the goods. All right. Hey, and Stephanie's saying, I'm for sure going to find homeschool groups. There you go, Stephanie. Cheryl Lee says, I will Google to find small business associations and websites for service groups. There you go. Awesome. Man, the lighting in here today is crazy. That's because it snowed last night. So crazy. I did my first, I had to do my first FaceTime lesson due to snow last night in my studio. Yeah, it's that time of year, my friends. Okay, so I hope that you found this valuable today. If you did find this valuable, make sure that you give me some thumbs up and heart this video so that I can get some feedback from you. Let me know what tips you found the most valuable here in the comments. And if you have questions about, how do I build a snap statement? How do I put together, business materials that make sense so that when I go to these events, I actually have stuff to hand out, right? Stephanie, I will send the snow your way. Trust me. If you're interested in that and you want to talk more about that, that's what I do. So thank you for joining me here today. Again, my name is Sarah Campbell. I'm a music business coach, and I work with music studio owners and online music business owners to get super strategic in your business so that you can be authentic, you can run a business that feels super good, and so that you can get out there and make a difference in the world with your music. So if you need help with those things, hit me up. That's what I'm here for. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was lovely to see you all. You can catch me next week on Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern time. And if you want to get a hold of that, make sure that you subscribe to the bot. So you're going to drop that network below and she'll give you the information. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will chat with you next time. In the meantime, stay creative and stay you. And thanks for tuning in.